Well, this video is for Math 111 for project number 2. So let's just take a look at it for a few minutes here. So the problem starts out saying pure ethylene glycol is added to 50 gallons of a coolant mixture that starts out 40% ethylene glycol and 60% water. So the first thing that I would do here is to figure out how many gallons of ethylene glycol are already in the mixture and how many gallons of water are in there as well. That second part is not quite as important because what we're looking for in terms of the concentration of ethylene glycol is gallons of the ethylene glycol divided by total gallons of the mixture. Okay, so we know to start off with our denominator is 50. We've got 50 total gallons. Now the question is, how many gallons of ethylene glycol are in there to begin with to make that 40% of the total 50 gallons? Okay, all right, so that's the starting point. Then we want to write an expression for the percentage of the ethylene glycol in the mixture, which is Y, in terms of the gallons of ethylene glycol that are going to be added. Okay? So, in here, you're going to have some expression involving X. That's why you need to find out how many gallons of ethylene glycol are you starting with, because then you're going to be adding X gallons to it. Okay? Now, notice how I drew arrows to both the numerator and denominator, because you're not only adding to the ethylene glycol in the numerator, you're also adding to the total gallons in the denominator. Okay? So that's where your function is going to come from, and that is all that's in part 1. Okay? So I think that is a good setup for the problem. Should allow people to get started with it. If you have questions about what I just talked about here, then please let me know. Okay? I'll do a separate video to address the graphing software. Okay? So again, if you have any questions about this setup, then please ask before you start. Okay? Some people turn in their project and then in the end say, oh, I've got lots of questions. Ask those questions before you turn in your project, please. Okay? Thanks a lot.